to stretch you out, service industry oriented yoga. Poco's already doing it here behind me. Yeah, let's get into it. Let's give your bod some love after you've been servicing Athens all week long. We'll begin on our back, so go ahead and come to your back. And you just need, your practice space. You barely really even need a mat here. Just hug your knees in towards you. I had myself behind my knees. It's because I got to give a little secret hamstring massage there. My fingertips on the backs of my legs. Rock side to side, just kind of lolling about here. So the biggest thing for me, I think for you, that's happening is this massage on your posterior torso, on the back of your torso, especially your low back here as it's rounding in the mat. Can you breathe into that? That's your kidney area, your QLs, and that space gets all crunked up when you're standing a lot. And even breathing into the top of your lungs and your upper back, that's really nice to even broaden through the shoulders right here, because a lot of the time we're doming forward, reaching for things kind of all curled up, slicing stuff up, putting plates down, whatever. So, and then from here, just bring the sole of your left foot to the floor and hug your right knee even more in. And you might even take the sole of your right foot to the sky, bringing your right hand outside your right foot. You might even take your left leg long on the mat and bring your hand on top of your left hip there. Yeah. Here I find a nice arch to my spine to feel really good, and even extend your left arm out. Just a couple big breaths. Then bring your right knee through center and take it across your body, so you're going into a little twist there. But don't twist so far that your right shoulder comes up. Really anchor your right shoulder back. And breathe into your right side, buddy. A arch to the spine might feel really nice here as well. Getting some cracks, snap, crackle, pops here for me. I don't know about you. Nice. And then come to bend at the left knee with your right ankle over it and just see about pulling this shape in for a little figure four. I know service industry can wreak havoc on your hips and your glutes, so just getting a nice little stretch there. And however far you're hugging this shape in, just make sure that the back of your shoulders are heavy and the front of your throat is soft, so you're not kind of like craning up towards your legs. Great. And then release that whole shape. Stretch it long. You might arch your spine here. Good big inhale. And as you exhale, hug everything in once again. And see if you might feel the difference between right and left as we're in this identical symmetrical shape that we started in. We've only done the right side. And keep your left knee hugging and bring the sole of your right foot to the floor. You might bring your left hand outside your left foot and shine the sole of it to the sky. You might bring your right leg long and anchor the front of your right hip there. Breathe. Just try not to wrench yourself into these postures. Just do what feels good in your body, because your body is, you're the only person who's witnessed truly to it, who knows it. So you might arch your spine and take your right arm out. Last round of breath here. And bring your left knee across your body to the right, but keep the back of your left shoulder anchored and just arch through your spine. So this is not only a lovely twist, it's making space and giving sensation in your left IT band. It's like runs from your outer left hip to your outer left knee. Also the side body here from your left waist to your left armpit. Great. And then come to that figure four here on this side with your left ankle over your right knee, and see if you want to pull it in on this side. It can be different from the other side because it would be freaky if you were completely symmetrical and unnatural. So just find what this side is calling for. And you might find that rock side to side as you breathe into that big old piece of glute on the left side there. And let that go. And bring the soles of your feet to the floor and just let your knees sway side to side. So it's such a nice thing anytime you feel the head of your thigh bone, your femur rotating in your hip socket. It's such good flossing for your acetabulum. You floss your acetabulum, you can do it at work. All right, last round of breath here. And come on up to all fours. Just take a moment from all fours to bring the tops of your feet to the floor. And if it's comfortable to sit back on your heels, you might even sit up back on your heels. So the tops of the feet are to the floor. We will tuck in a moment, but this is starting to get into stretching the fronts of your ankles that are always flexed when you're standing, and also into stretching the fronts of your thighs, your quads, which just get a lot of action when you're in the service industry. I'm gonna move forward so I can lean back a little. And again, this isn't like, this is just kind of, you're just moving what feels good. You might lean back and rock side to side. Imagine getting into the fibers of your quads. Very good. And then here, coming into all fours, bring your top of your left foot to like your right calf. Yeah, this is kind of funky. We're going to do a little calf smashing. So it's top of your left foot, or even like the top of your left ankle or your left heel, and just sit back there on your right, and just like move side to side. I'm bringing mine up a little bit higher. So basically, you're using your left ankle or foot to get into the flesh of your right calf. And your calves, tightness in the calves can have a lot of consequences, especially in the low back. And so we just find these areas getting a lot of action when you're standing all day and taking so many steps, etc. It's really an intense myofascial release, so just being with sensation. Great. Ooh, and just take a moment in all fours and just feel the difference between the back of your right calf versus the back of your left. You might take a couple cat's cows. Here's a cow. Extend like you're opening the front of your spine. And here's a cat, like you're opening the back of your spine. Take a big inhale to your cow. Lift your seat like you're plugging it up into something behind you. And exhale to your cat. Curl your seat in like your little shrimp here. Nice. Okay, we'll take the other side. So bringing your right foot anywhere like on the inside of the back of your left calf and like sitting back. Oh my gosh, it's so intense. So use like 5 any movement around, but try not to make the movement like fidgety, like you're moving because you're so uncomfortable, but just moving out of interest. Almost like you're an objective observer here. Just noticing the intensity of sensation. And I feel like for me, like the more intense it is, the more I needed it. So just leaning into that. You might readjust, going to a different spot on the back of your calf. And this is not only getting to the back of your calf, it's getting to the back of your thigh, your hamstrings back there. So that's really good work too. One more round of breath here. Okay. And coming back and feeling now that vibration in the backs of both calves. Take a big inhale. Use the muscles in your back to stretch your heart forward. And use the muscles in your belly to shrimp up as you exhale. Lovely. Another inhale, lift. Another exhale to curl. Nice. And walking a little towards the back of the mat, coming into that same cow, and keeping your hips like plugging back up into whatever's behind you. Walk your hands out and then melt your heart down. So this is puppy pose, which, you know, in its name, it is a little dog. Spread your seat behind you. Press down through your palms and wrap your outer shoulders and find length. Not only on the front of your spine, but your outer ribs up through your outer waist. Nice. Now come a little bit forward, bending into your elbows. Elbows plant on the ground. Really tuck your tailbone here as you round forward, let your hips come to the ground so that your shoulders are right above your elbows. You might have to readjust. Tops of feet plant firmly. Thighs are toned. Really scoop your pubic bone down into the mat. Lift your heart up. Pull your shoulders and your elbows back like you're trying to pull your heart forward. This is Sphinx pose. So we're coming into just some posterior chain engagement, which is really nice just for posture in general. Breathing here, and also counteracting a lot of the doming of the back that we get in the service industry and the flexion of the spine. Last round here. Great. Then from here, tuck your toes, tone your thighs and your belly, really tuck your tailbone, and then lift your hips into forearm plank. And so here you can bring your knees back to the floor if you'd like, but if your knees are lifted fully, tone your thighs, really scoop your pubic bone in towards your navel, push the ground away and dome through the back of your shoulders. Soften your face. This is good core engagement, which helps with low back pain. Last inhale. And as you exhale, knees to the floor, hips to your heels, child's pose. And think about rounding in your spine. So you can breathe into the vertebrae on the back of your spine. It's kind of stretching the areas that we were just using in our back bend. Great. All right. And then we'll come into a dog. So it's a lot like puppy. You'll press your hands in, tuck your toes, and send your hips up and back for a dog. Nice. And just some big breath here, having that same action of plugging your seat up behind you. And you can have a really nice bend to your knees here on the balls of your feet, heels are high, to really prioritize that pour of your pelvis forward and openness of the front of your spine, just like you had in your puppy. And just find a couple big breaths here. Always option to bring your knees to the floor. Do bring your knees to the floor. Here we'll come into a little more posterior chain activation. So imagine that you're trying to crunch something between your back of your calf and the back of your thigh on the right side. And then imagine that don't just imagine it. Solo the foot towards the sky, lift your knee using your butt cheek, and then extend your leg long, use your quad to really open the back of the knee. And if you want here, you can reach your left fingertips forward. Think about knitting your low ribs in and then lifting a long line from your left heel to your left thumb to your right heel. Big inhale here. And as you exhale, clamp your knees shut and bring your knee to your elbow. Really round in like a shrimp, like a cat. Inhale, extend. And exhale, round in. Inhale, extend. And exhale, round in. Last one, inhale to extend. This time as you exhale, clamp your knee shut, reach back. Maybe you get that foot with your hand and stretch up. So this is really lively quad stretch again. And then a nice back bend, nice balance, using your core to establish your base. And release your left hand to the floor, bring your right knee to your right shoulder. Press the ground away, step outside your right hand. Then here you can walk your left knee back a little bit if you want, and walk your heart forward. So you are in a lizard lunge. If you want to lift your back knee for more of a strengthening posture, you can do that. Otherwise, it's just nice to get stretchy here. Use the muscles in your back that we're using in that Sphinx pose when you're lifting your heart. Really hug your knee in towards your outer shoulder. Huge breath here. This is really good for your left hip flexor and your outer right hip. So we're gonna take some nerve flossing. As much as comfortable that works for you. You can just straighten and bend through that right knee. Pulling your heart forward. And then straightening your leg and folding in. Just doing that a couple times. You might add your breath, inhaling as you bend and exhaling as you straighten. Just one more round. Inhale to bend and exhale to straighten. Stay straight on your inhale. Find a cow spine, pulling your heart forward. And then exhale, just fold in. And just some big breaths here. So this is not only a stretch for the back of your right leg, which you're probably definitely feeling, but also it could be for like the left side body. You can kind of pull your left shoulder in towards your right heel to find that lovely stretch on the left side. And even in your left low back, that QL kidney area. Now bend back into your right knee. We're going to take a twist. Stabilize your left hand below your left shoulder and bring your right hand to your right thigh. So first push down to loop your shoulder onto your back, and then push down to your left hand to lift your heart, and then you can reach your hand up. And so here you can get nice and open. You can come onto the knife edge of your right foot. You could reach back for that left foot for a quad stretch. Whatever feels good for you. Is a scissoring action that happens at the top of your left thigh moving forward, knife edge of your right foot moving back. And also a really lovely lift for the back of your left ribs as you push down through your left palm. Last big inhale. Exhale, hand to the floor. Lift your back knee, look forward, get nice and bouncy. You're gonna push away the ground, the left foot, and step your left foot outside your left hand. So you're in a yogi squat, and I'll come and face you here. So your squat can be kind of shallow, like this with your hands to your thighs. Or you bring your hands to your heart, pull the center of your armpits down towards the arches of your feet, and then sit back in your squat, whatever feels good for you. So you might be feeling this space, this difference between the right and the left side. Just being with that in this symmetrical posture, breathing. Squat is really good medicine for you. Last big inhale. And as you exhale, hands to the floor, nice and buoyant. Straighten your legs. Pull your heart forward. Bring your toes slightly in, fingertips to your shins, lovely. And so here, this is your Ardha Uttanasana. You, again, want to drive your heels down and lift and spread through your seat. Again, like you're plugging it into something behind you. Use the muscles in your back to loop your shoulders back and lengthen the front of your spine. This is such a good pose. You can do this at work. Last big inhale. Now as you exhale, take a nice bend to your knees so you can drape your belly over your thighs and round in. Sort of like leasing into this forward fold. If you want to take a bind, you could take opposite elbows, whatever feels nice here. Breathe into the top of your lungs and your upper back. This is a really lovely stretch for not only the back of your legs, but the whole back of your torso, even your back of your hips. And release your fingertips here. Halfway lift, big inhale. And fold as you exhale. Inhale, stretch all the way up, reach up. And here as you exhale, tuck your tailbone, lift your heart a little higher. And as you exhale, bring your palms together, trace the midline as you fold all the way down. Halfway lift, big inhale. And as you exhale, step back to your dog. Dog is a really great touchstone for integrating all these asymmetrical postures that we've had so far. So you might feel the difference between the back of your right leg versus the back of your left leg. Nice. And then come to your knees. And we will take the other side. So you might bring your knees a little closer together for stability. And then find that little crunch on the left hamstring there, heel to glute. Then use that glute, make it rock hard as you lift your knee nice and high. And then use your quad as you extend your leg behind you. Nice. Upper inner thigh spiraling up. And if you want to reach your fingertips towards the front of the floor or towards in the air, reaching forward, knit your low ribs and lift your thumb, lift your heel. A big long line from your thumb to your heel. Inhale. Exhale, clamp your knee shut, bring your elbow to your knee. Really round and use your belly. And inhale, extend. And exhale, round in. Inhale, extend. And exhale to round. Last one, inhale, use muscles on your back. This time as you exhale, clamp your left knee shut or reach for your foot with your hands. And if you can't get it, just reach and lift, finding a little back bend. If you have it, kick into your hand, lift your knee. Really nice quad stretch here. Breathing. Next, exhale, release, right hand to the floor, left knee to your left shoulder, and then step outside your left hand, lizard lunge on this side. So I'm walking my right knee a little bit back so I can really pull my heart forward. You feel that big sensation on the front of your right quad, right psoas. Soft face, big breath. Awesome. So we'll take that nerve flossing here. It's so good for your low back, straightening and bending through your left knee, however much straight and bent feels nice for you. You might pair your breath with the movement, exhaling to fold and inhaling to extend. We'll do one more on this side. Nice. And then from here, we'll take our twist. So right hand below your right shoulder, left hand to your left thigh. Push down so you can really loop your left shoulder onto your back. And then take your twist. So you're pushing down through your right hand to find that lift from the back of your ribs to really open up and twist towards the ceiling. If you want to open up here, coming to the knife edge of your left foot and curling your right heel in for that additional quad stretch there. This pose is great. It's just like kind of targets a lot of the areas that can become problematic from your job. And so that's just some good medicine here with your breath. And as you exhale, let go. Lift your knee as you inhale, look forward, nice and bouncy. Kick the ground away as you exhale. Find your squat here. This is our last second squat. It might be a little more easeful now that you have that action on both sides. And whatever movement that you like to do. I think it's cool to approach yoga. Somebody made it up at some point, you know? So just doing the poses like you made it up because it felt good to do. That's the spot you want to be in. Fingertips to the floor. Use your glutes to straighten, lift. Parallel your feet, pull your heart forward. Find that Ardha Uttanasana, that cow spine. Muscles on your back, big inhale. The long drape as you exhale. Lovely. Let's do that twice more. Inhale. And exhale. Last one, inhale. And exhale. This is our second forward fold. If you want to take a bind of interlacing your hands up above your head, that might feel really nice for the fronts of your shoulders. Just breathing into the sides of your lungs. Release the back of your neck. Fingertips to the floor. Halfway lift, big inhale. And fold as you exhale. Inhale, stretch all the way up. And exhale, fold it all the way back down. Half lift, big inhale. And step back as our last dog here. So integrating both sides of this work. Feeling out to the edges of this shape, to the insides of your skin, and even beyond that, like sensation of your body transcended the lines of it. Like you were frosting a cake that was actually bigger than you could see. Great. And bring your knees to the floor. And keeping your toes tucked, go ahead and sit back on your heels. So this is, yes, very intense pose. And I'm going to just come to face you real quick. And with your toes tucked, you might take your hands to the backs of your thighs there, and just, or bottoms of your feet. The soles of your feet, the palms of your feet, and give them a little love there. Can feel nice. So it's intense. It's coming out whenever. It's intense because it's your plantar fascia, and it gets super tight, especially when you're on your feet all the time. Just giving a little love there. And then come out and kind of tap the tops of your feet to the floor. And just sit back on your heels again. This nice stretch for the tops of your feet and the fronts of your ankles. And just let your right ear dip towards your right shoulder. Extend your left fingertips out. And you might take your chin kind of back and forth, just getting a nice stretch in the left side. With your breath, can you let come this sense of presence, of belonging to the present moment instead of belonging to the past, you know? I know with these jobs it's important to be super aware so you can function in your zone. And to be super aware, it's imperative that we're not lost in belonging to the past or belonging to the future. You can switch sides, extending your right fingertips out, letting your left ear dip towards your left shoulder, and just taking your head back and forth. It's wild how much of our time we spend dwelling in things that already happened or things that haven't even happened yet. It's kind of like walking around blindfolded with a hand tied behind you in the present. You're half there. So belonging to the present is really all about belonging to yourself, which again, it's an imperative when you're in the service industry, because if you don't intentionally belong to yourself, you can get unintentionally give yourself away to other people. Give your energies away. Bring both hands to your thighs. Just close your eyes. Take a couple big breaths here, belonging to yourself. It's also really sweet to practice and recognize how you belong to yourself in the present moment, so that when you do want to belong to somebody else, you know how to. All right. Take care. I hope to see you soon, and I hope you are so good.